Hello everyone, I hope you're all keeping safe and well. I'm currently in one of the computer rooms at school where the site team and teaching staff are working really hard trying to get the school ready for reopening next week for certain students. Parents, if you want any more information about this, please look out for your emails or look at the letters that Mr Sparks has published on the school website, which contains the school policy and the latest government updates with regards to reopening. I'm just here to talk to you today, very briefly actually, I promise it's going to be brief, just about a couple of things that are going on around school and that you've been up to at home. So firstly, a massive thank you. As well as all the hard work you guys have been doing on class charts, you've also been taking part in the character charter tasks. Now, I know a lot of you have done some of these already, and for some of you, some of the tasks seem pretty straightforward, but a lot of the tasks that are available on class charts, in case you haven't seen, there's loads of stuff on there for you to be getting up to, and certainly things that you can be trying to do again if you did it last year, or you were doing these, don't you know how to do these tasks day in and day out, that you can be getting on with at home. I find that students have been telling me it really helps break up the lessons that they've been doing to challenge themselves by doing things like ironing a shirt or sewing on a button or learning how to make a cup of tea. There are lots of different things you can be doing on there, such as some photography, learning British Sign Language, some exercise tasks, learning how to do a magic trick, loads of things for you and for your family to also get involved in. So I think it's really important to keep yourself busy during the days at the moment, and a really good way of doing that is by doing some of the character charter tasks. As we all know by now, education isn't just in the classroom, and now it cannot be in the classroom. Education is something that takes place all around you all the time. So every opportunity you can is a learning opportunity to do stuff. So it isn't just about math, it isn't just about English, it isn't just about reading and writing, it's also about learning life skills that will help you out when you leave school and get into the real world, the adult world. So there's loads of things that are on that character charter list on class charts. If you haven't had a chance to access it yet, do have a look for the class charts tab, the character charter tab, on class charts. And as you will see, a lot of the stuff on there complements a lot of your learning at the moment perfectly. If you need a bit of a break from the work you're doing, or just a break from the house perhaps, take a look at this list and pick some activities to do. It could be as simple as writing a thank you card, or a letter to a relative, or even making someone a nice cup of tea. You never know, someone in the house might appreciate that. And if you don't know how to make a cup of tea, this would be a really good time to learn. I'm going to be making a display of all the photos that I've been sent of all of you lot doing character charter tasks so far. There've been loads, and we're going to make a display in school because it warrants a big appreciation of how much you guys have done. So again, thank you very much. Currently on the character charter tab, there is a physical challenge. Now, the next stage of what we're all going into is to make sure we are keeping physically active. There are so many studies out there that show the contribution of physical activity to mental well-being. It could be a walk up the road, it could be a run to the shops, it could be a bike ride or something like that. If you can, if it's safe to do so, if you're able to socially distance, and of course if you're allowed to do so, do take some time to make the most of the weather when it's not raining, and get out into the fresh air, get a bit of exercise, get a bit of a sweat on, and you really find that you focus a lot more on your work during the day. If you can't get out for whatever reason, then do try something at home. There are lots of tasks on there that can be done either outdoors or indoors. So have a look, grab a relative or someone else in the house and go out and do something physical. Make sure you're keeping your exercise up. It's one of the most important things you have to do at this time. So with that in mind, make sure if you've got any photos of that or any proof that you've been doing some running and some times and stuff, again, please email them to me so we can keep a track of it. There's one task on there as well on the character chart on the physical challenge called the Bring Sally Up challenge. It was a thing about 4 years ago. I only realised it this time round. It's really difficult. I've been trying really hard and failing at it every single time. So have a look at that if you're up for it. Also, very quickly, we've been doing some magic work with Student Executive at the moment, our student leaders. and they've put together their student plan for the next academic year. And it talks about all the things that you students want to do as part of our school's development. A lot of plans we have, hopefully they'll all be able to go ahead at some point, are visiting primary schools, holding a lot more house competitions, sports competitions and sports fixtures with other schools, and also working with the canteen to expand their range of food options. So there's loads of good stuff that in there that I'll be able to talk to you about at a later time. So mainly this assembly, if you want to call it that, is about what else is going on around the school as well as your studies. But I'd also like to leave you on one final thing. And this is actually leading off the back of Miss Baker's message last week. It's actually not something that I said. It's actually something I heard my daughter's head teacher say when he spoke to the class in an assembly a long time ago, actually. And he made a very, very important point. Now, it resonates now more than ever because I've just spoken about all the things that you can be getting on with, that you should be able to do, and to encourage you to get out of the house. But as Miss Baker said in her last assembly, there are good days and there are bad days, and everyone experiences these. It's every adult in the house and every sibling, if there's a sibling in the house, they will experience those good days and bad days, and you will see them experience that. And we've all had that over the past few months. But sometimes, as much as you want to do work, you just don't feel like it. Circumstances are working against you, you're bored, and then there's just a boredom and malaise sets in, and then before you know it, you've been on the sofa for 6 hours. It can be a very hard habit to break, but even more so if you're using social media accounts at the moment. When you're seeing people posting things about how they've just had a great walk or a great bike ride or just got an ice cream or something like that, or maybe seeing other people in other countries being able to visit the beach or go to a cafe or see their friends, it's very easy to want that and to feel pretty worthless when you're seeing other people do that. My little sister, for example, she works at a city farm in the southwest of England, and her job during lockdown is to be in charge of the baby goats and the baby pigs that have been born during lockdown. So every day on her Instagram stories, it's constantly, her feeding the baby piglets and the baby goats, and looking after them and living her best life. And it's annoying to see because it's a really good thing for her to do. But what my daughter's head teacher said really made me think. And here's the words he said. He said, "Never compare your behind the scenes to someone else's greatest hits." To me, that means is never think you're not doing enough, or never think you're not doing as well as anyone else because you're scrolling through social media whilst on your 10th biscuit of the morning. Adults, you'll appreciate this. Looking at other people putting photos on social media accounts showing what a great time they're having. Of course they are. That's what social media is for. Everyone has down days. It's up to you to know that you don't need to be doing the right thing all the time, that others are doing all the time. You don't have to be happy all the time, but you do need to achieve something every day. However small that achievement is, you do need to try and achieve something every day so you can look back on the day and go, this is what I've done today, this is what I've achieved today. And again, it can be going out, doing a big run, doing a bike ride, having a great time, socially distancing, seeing a relative or a friend or something like that. Or it could just be making someone a cup of tea. Thank you for listening. I hope you are all staying safe. We do miss you very much, and we look forward to seeing you soon.